Using a borrowed 1939 Chevy lowrider as a kind of time machine, Ry Cooder takes us into Chavez Ravine and into the past. So this is the old neighborhood really at the edge of Chavez Ravine, just outside the ravine.
It is. La Loma, then also called Little Town.
This hilltop enclave inspired the 3-year musical journey Cooder took to create his new project, Chavez Ravine. It's a kind of street opera, an eclectic song cycle sung half in Spanish, half in English, with Cooder leading a cast of legendary Chicano musicians. Set against the backdrop of a turbulent Los Angeles in the 1940s and 50s, the album is a requiem for a lost time and place.
Music is history. It's a form of history, a vernacular form. And there's the experience and the knowledge contained in various ways, such as the ability to play instruments, the ability to write songs about your life. It's songs about something that you know something about. Of course, I always was curious to go out and find who these people were, what they were like.
This is what's left of Chavez Ravine, about 1 mile from downtown Los Angeles. It's where Ry Cooder came to unearth a complex history through the music and voices of the people who lived here. Cooder's fascination was sparked by the work of photographer Don Normark, who as a young man in 1949 wandered into Chavez Ravine, a vibrant community where some 300 Mexican-American families lived. Normark called it a poor man's Shangri-La.
You see these photographs and you understand that it was rural. Very nice to think that within a mile of City Hall there's this farm country. They lived a quiet life unto themselves, the people there, and it wasn't so dense, it wasn't all packed in, so it's not like a tenement slum. Country life.
Ry's just a homeboy who unfortunately was born in Santa Monica.
One of Cooder's most important musical partners on Chavez Ravine was William Garcia, Little Willie G., frontman for the great Chicano rock band, The Midnighters. Willie had family up in the ravine.
We want to take you into the lives and into the history of people that lived. It isn't just something mythical. This is something that really happened.
It's my fantasy about a community, this record. I mean, Chavez Ravine gives you a cast of characters, a fantastic series of events.
That chain of events began in the 40s with the scare over Pachucos, the Chicano hipsters who dressed in flamboyant zoot suits and loved swing music.
Pachucos were not at all intimidated about expressing themselves in their demeanor, their talk, their dress, their music.
Anti-Pachuco fever led to the so-called zoot suit riots, in which sailors attacked the Mexican-American hipsters.
Yeah, that's what I want. Yeah, that's what I want.
By 1957, Chavez Ravine was all but razed, and the last of its residents were forcibly evicted by the city.
We're honored to have the Dodgers here. We think it's a wonderful thing, but not in our place.
Got my own bulldozer. But now it was to make way for the Dodgers baseball team, moved by owner Frank O'Malley to Los Angeles from Brooklyn, after L.A. offered Chavez Ravine as the site for a new stadium.
So thanks to everybody for being so nice to us.
Mr. O'Malley, here's a summons from the people of the Chavez Ravine.
The legal maneuvers failed. The evictions continued, and soon much of the ravine was filled in to make way for the new state-of-the-art ballpark. To tell this twisting tale in music, Cooder brought in a sterling cast of Chicano musicians. Talk about some of the folks that are on the record.
Well, my first call was to Lalo Guerrero because I think you need to go find the oldest person.
Lalo Guerrero is the godfather. He's the father. He was a pioneer for us, a model for us.
Chavez Ravine was to be the last recording for Lalo Guerrero, a giant of Mexican-American music. He died in March at 88, just after writing and singing his final composition for Cooder's project.
Hermanos Chavez, pugilistas que nacieron.
There are also good time songs about romance and daily life in the barrio. And for the deep groove of Muy Fifi, Cooder was inspired by this scene from the 1949 film noir classic Crisscross, set in L.A. with Yvonne DiCarlo dancing the rumba. But Chavez Ravine, the place, is lost.
Third base, Dodger Stadium.
Much of it now entombed beneath Dodger Stadium.
It's hard to imagine that there was a neighborhood here. There was a town down there. It's very moving somehow and touching to me to think that while we sit here, you know, and of course that's a lot of lives and memories and connections and people who still to this day will tell you that they're from third base, that that's directly under third base, or they're from home plate.
But for Cooder, the musical culture of the people who lived in the ravine and throughout East Los Angeles some 50 years ago is more durable.
But music is not time sensitive in that way. It can go on, it can live on. We love old music, and people go around with songs in their head that sort of mark off the days of their lives and all this. I know I do. Yeah. And so that's, I think, the reason to make a record like this.
And that's why for Ry Cooder, a project like Chavez Ravine is not a museum piece, but a contemporary view of urban life and history through music. And if you listen to these voices, as Cooder has, a vision of culture and community emerges that speaks to all of us. For Nightline in Los Angeles, I'm Nick Spitzer.